Yo, what's up, it's Dominator, welcome back to Apex Legends, and welcome to Season 11. Today we go over the best weapons to use, but if you also want to know what the best legends are, then I have a brand new video out now, which you can find linked in the description and in my pinned comment. If you're not familiar with tier lists, we rank all the weapons, all the way from D tier, all the way up to S tier being the best. But there is one exception where care package weapons will not be ranked, as they're actually, of course, they won't be in the care package if they're not the best weapons in the game. They've got to be the best in the game, so we're not going to rank them. But that includes the Spitfire, the Kraber, the Alternator, and now obviously the G7. With that being said, let's begin. Starting us off, his D tier is actually, of course, the P2020 and the Mozambique. These are the weapons which I like to call the throwaway weapons, which are basically every single FPS game has to have these weapons. They're the weapons which are the worst. They're not meant to get picked. They're used so the RNG can be fair. Kind of make the game flow as well as the meta. Now that the hammer point has also been removed, these weapons will not be appearing again. In C tier, we have the RE45, the longbow, the charge rifle, the Havoc, and the Devotion. Don't forget, I'm not ranking weapons with hop-ups. So obviously the Havoc and the Devotion with the turbocharger will be so much harder than C tier, but we're basing them off their actual default weapons. The RE45 is actually a decent weapon. Obviously it's above D tier because it's basically a fully automatic P2020. Longbow is a great weapon, but it can be better and it doesn't feel as good as it used to be, especially with the removal of the skull piercer hop-up. Starting us off in B tier is the bow, the wingman, prowler, the L-star, the Eva 8, and the 30-30 repeater. One of the main things in this is actually to speak about the Eva 8. The Eva had a little nerf this season, where the fire rate has actually been nerfed, so obviously it shoots slower now. But it still seems to be a very good weapon to use. The only reason it's down here is because there's a couple more shotguns in the game, but they're actually better than the Eva 8. So the Eva can't compare to them, and so it has to be placed further down. The SR is also here, as last season it seemed to be absolutely dominating pubs. But it actually had a little nerf this season, which makes it put down a little bit more. It was a change to do with its barrel. The bow was an amazing addition to the game, but in my personal opinion, it's not that good. But I think Respawn are doing the perfect thing. We don't want a bow like the bow check to be dominating the game. It could be a weapon which can be OP in just a matter of a tiny little buff. I think they're doing the perfect thing here. The wingman is pushed down all the way to C. Usually, for me, it's always an A or even an S tier. But like I said with the longbow, the removal of the skull piercer is what pushes it all the way down. Moving on to the A tier, we have the R301, the Triple Take, the Peacekeeper, the Mastiff, Flatline, and finally the Hemlock. The Hemlock is still good. It tends to go under the radar a little bit. People understand how good it is, but they seem to underestimate the Tapfire mode. The Hemlock and the Tapfire mode has been a beast and has been for a while. People know this, but people, I think, have just seemed to have forgotten. It's not changed, it's still as good, and possibly even better than it ever has been before. The Peacekeeper has been placed above the Eva 8 as it got a little buff. Its pellet sizes are actually a lot bigger than they used to be, which means the actual shells are actually bigger when they come out of the barrel, which means obviously it's easier to hit your shots. I think this is really, really good. As I don't know if it's just me, but when using the PK, I always feel like I was hitting a lot of 9s last season. So I'm glad that they've buffed it. The Massive recently got a little buff as well, but this was via a hop-up. This hop-up allows faster reload, and it also is on the 30-30 repeater too. It allows for a faster reload. Not only is the reload just faster, but it doesn't actually increase the actual speed you reload. It increases the amount of pellets that you reload your shotgun with, if you get me. Instead of reloading one pellet, it reloads 2 pellets, 2 pellets, 2 pellets, which results in a faster reload. The R301 has been a staple in the game, and it's kind of the base weapon which every single game has. It's the beam. It's the weapon which has little to no recoil, and it does absolutely amazing damage. Which means it's obviously easy to use, and less skilled players are always going to be better at using it. Every single game has it, so in Apex, it's the R301. It's been a staple in the game, and it continues to do so. It's been an absolute beast from the beginning of the game. Even with the removal of the anvil, it's still so good. Now the Triple Take is actually here in A tier, as even though it took out the care package, it actually got no nerfs at all. Usually once a weapon comes out of the care package, obviously, it's so good that it was in the care package, they have to nerf it when it's out, or else it should still be in the care package, of course, because it's not changed. But not the Triple Take. The Triple Take has been taken out of the care package this season, and it's been replaced by the G7. But it has no nerf at all, which means it's as good as it was last season. The Triple Take is going to absolutely dominate sniper department in Apex this season. It's absolutely crazy to me that there's been no nerfs, but hey, we just got to take it. Finally, on to move into the best weapons of the game, we have S tier, and in here we have the Rampage, the Car SMG, the Volt, and the R99. The car SMG seems to work as it used to in Titanfall, and if it actually does, because it works like it does in Titanfall, it's an absolute monster. Titanfall was my main game before Apex, which allowed me to adapt to Apex very easily when it first came out. The car is my most used weapon in Titanfall. It's absolutely amazing, and everyone who plays Titanfall can back me up and say it's absolute monster. And Respawn have added a brand new mechanic to the game, which is obviously changing the ammo types. And as we go further into season, we'll see how good this actually is. At the moment, we're not too sure, but trust me, it's absolutely amazing, and it's worth to get it a go. The Rampage was added last season, and it's still up here in this season. It's so good, even though the fire rate is kind of slow, the DPS is insane. The damage per second that it does is beautiful. And allowing the thermite to buff up the Rampage is insane. It makes it 10 times better than the base weapon. The Vault is very top of the tier list as well, due to the DPS and the sheer range that this thing can provide. The R99 is still insane, and it has been since launch. The beams from this weapon is insane, and the mag size is beautiful. Everything about this weapon is incredible, and I hope they don't put it back in the care package. This weapon is an amazing part of your loadout. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to go down below and leave a like and subscribe. And don't forget, I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers by Christmas, so every single sub is appreciated. We might even hit 1,000 by as videos come out. If we've not, make sure to subscribe. And even if we have, make sure to subscribe. Even if we have to hit it by now, I'm still going to be providing you guys with content. And there's always brand new milestones to hit. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the support. And once again, it's been my pleasure. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. In a bit.